Color matters. Why? How color affect you? How color trends influence you? If you are curious like us, dive in with us in this quest for answers aimed at satisfying your curiosity and interest in fashion and color trends. If you do not have the time to watch it now, then subscribe if you haven't already so that you do not lose it. You can watch it later. If you haven't watched part 1 of this series, you may want to watch it first. The link is in the description. But you can watch it later as well. This video, part 2, can stand alone. For your reference, video part 1 showcased some of the works of the 3 designers Carolina Herrera, Brandon Maxwell, and Michael Kors. These designers, among others, showed their works at the New York Fashion Week Spring/Summer 2023, in the color palette predicted by Pantone Color Institute. This video, part 2, is an overview which surveys Pantone's connection with the world of fashion, Pantone's color trend prediction for spring and summer 2023, and how Pantone and other reporting agencies describe the color trend predicted for 2023. After that, you will have a comprehensive overview of several other designers showcasing their work in these colors. This part covers the source and the mechanism of influence, which stresses the fact that color trends with their variations of hues and shades. Color is not fixed, it is in perpetual motion. Sometimes we may feel that it is a moving target when the changes are fast. But if we are able to catch the essence, we are nearly never left behind, and we will have a wardrobe that survives the winds of change. Ha ha ha. In the close of this video, you will experience a rich survey of the outfits with the trending colors as adopted by the celebrities in various high-profile functions. This is proof that color trends matter to them. From prediction to adoption by the designers, cascading down to the wardrobe of notable celebrities in high-profile functions outside the catwalks. Ultimately, the color trend's ripple effect is observed in the fashion of the public at large. Hence, color trends matter to us fashion consumers, i.e., you and us. We do not know for sure that the fashion industry agrees, but in our opinion, what is referred to as prediction is more of a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is because Pantone publishes its predictions for the trends first, which would inspire the designers to select the predicted colors. So ultimately the trend is confirmed when the celebrated designers handpick the colors for their designs for the season. A disclaimer, if you will. We are not professional critics nor reporters of the industry. We are closer to you, our audience. We are genuinely interested in fashion. We also have business interests, as we will be launching our online shop soon. But now our focus is to learn, not to earn. This is a learning journey we embark on with you. We believe that this will help us serve you best, not only in providing value in our educational and entertaining videos, but also to help us understand the industry and its clients in support of our venture in this business. In either case, we look forward to receiving your kind understanding and support as we grow. Let us start. Who is Pantone? Pantone says it best in its introductory video on their website, pantone.com, at the time we compiled our video. Watch with us the first minute of this video.
"80% of human experience is filtered through the eyes, but color grabs our attention first. It conveys a message and mood and can be the key to success." At the Pantone Color Institute, we've been speaking the language of color since 1986, helping brands succeed. From color trends to cultural meaning, we bring our color insights to help you develop a color and design strategy consistent with your brand vision. Every color and color combination expresses something different, instantly causing a psychological reaction and physiological response. We help you create brand color stories that will connect to consumers at their deepest level. Want to know where color direction is moving? We also see the future, in color that is. In a landscape that is constantly evolving, our Pantone View trend books highlight emerging color themes 6 to 24 months in advance of the season.
Oops. We have inadvertently advertised Pantone without having any commercial interest. Now moving on, Pantone says, at Pantone Color Institute, we unite the science and emotion of color. This is how Pantone Color Institute defines itself in one sentence. Pantone encompasses color, all color. Therefore, it is concerned with color in almost every industry, not only fashion. However, we are going to keep our crosshair on color trends at New York Fashion Week Spring/Summer 2023. Please note that many sources in the fashion world recognize Pantone as a global leader in color expertise. We will update you when we discover industry peers to Pantone. Pantone Fashion Color Trend Report said, according to Pantone Color Institute experts, colors for Spring/Summer 2023 New York reflects how our experience of the past few years has influenced our relationship with color. Embracing a fearless approach that ranges from chaos to quiet, we strive forward with a color palette that celebrates a newfound freedom and the excitement of trying something new. End of quote. Now we move on to the notorious Pantone color prediction. Each color has a Pantone reference number, followed by Pantone color name, followed by Pantone color description. The colors are in two categories: the 10 color palette and the 5 classic core colors. Both are the predicted color trends for spring and summer 2023. The palette of the 10 colors of the trend. Described as, quote, a range of contrasting colors encouraging experimentation and individualistic expression. End of quote. Pantone 18-1664, Fiery Red. A supercharged red tone, signaling an energetic intensity. Pantone 18-2143, Beetroot Purple. An emboldened fuchsia hue depicting the fruits of nature. Pantone 15-1335, Tangelo. A tangy, tasty, vitamin-enriched orange. Pantone 15-1530, Peach Pink. A nurturing peach tone invites you in for a warm embrace. Pantone 14-0756, Empire Yellow. A luminescent yellow that radiates joyfulness. Pantone 12-1708, Crystal Rose. A clear pink conveying modern romance. Pantone 16-6340, Classic Green. A nourishing green imbued with health-giving qualities. Pantone 13-0443, Lovebird. An exotic green with a lively character. Pantone 16-4036, Blue Perennial. A standout blue that spikes the palette. Pantone 14-4316, Summer Song. A clean blue tone that expresses relaxation and tranquility. The palette of the 5 classic core colors of the trend. Described as, quote, ultra-calm tints and tones suggest a quiet presence. End of quote. Pantone 12-4604, Skylight. A pure and watery cleansing aqua. Pantone 12-1009, Vanilla Cream. A soft and delicious creamy tone. Pantone 13-3804, Gray Lilac. A dreamy and ethereal lilac-infused gray. Pantone 15-0628, Leek Green. A vegetal green with a subtle flavor. Pantone 17-1221, Macchiato. A delectable brown with a light layer of foam. Whereas Women's Wear Daily said, quote, the Color Institute's 15 color predictions have appeared at many collections during New York Fashion Week. End of quote. Then added, quote, many designers look to the Color Institute's 15 color predictions for the season, ranging from heritage labels like Coach and Tommy Hilfiger, to smaller brands like Puppets and Puppets, and R13. The Institute in reference to Pantone predicting a range of bright colors and neutrals as the season's reigning trends. End of quote. Women's Wear Daily noted that, quote, Beetroot Purple, a bright fuchsia, proved to be one of the most popular colors used in the New York Fashion Week Spring 2023 collections. The color popped up several times at Laquan Smith's collection in pieces like crystal-embellished dresses, cutout dresses, and matching sets, as well as at Alice plus Olivia with a satin blazer dress and at Kate Spade with an A-line dress. End of quote. About the classic green, Women's Wear Daily said, quote, the bright color was seen at Monse with a floral print dress shirt, Tommy Hilfiger with casual green trousers. Neutral colors had their fair share as well at New York Fashion Week. Pantone Vanilla Cream was used by, quote, Christian Siriano in a tulle ball gown, Dion Lee in a cutout set, and TB in a satin long-sleeved dress. End of quote. La Moda Channel said, quote, while the colors in its central palette for the SS23 season aim to encourage experimentation and individualistic expression. Pantone's new classics compilation stuck to ultracalm tints that stuck closer to tranquility. Each shade was selected to reflect the new era the upcoming season will be reigning in, as well as how the past few years have impacted relationships with color. End of quote. Here is the energetic intensity of Pantone's fiery red, not the usual red, showcased here by Givenchy, Salvatore Ferragamo, and Schiaparelli. And here is the emboldened fuchsia, Pantone's beetroot purple outfits by the designers Chloe, Roches, and Harris Reed. Beetroot purple is described by Pantone as an emboldened fuchsia that depicts the fruits of nature. A side note here, you may find that there is a variation in the color of the dresses from the standard Pantone color palette shown in the first part of this video. That standard Pantone is closest possible to the true color since it comes directly from Pantone. We need to keep in mind that the camera may capture different hues of the same color due to variations in the ambient lighting, and other factors. Then the reproduction of the photos in prints and on various screens may not show the exact Pantone color hue. The same is true with human eyesight. Hence, we believe that color is subjective to some degree. The same subjectivity of the recording and reproduction of color applies to all the photos showing outfits in this video, and as a matter of fact, applies to almost everywhere else. On Pantone's Tangelo La Moda channel said, quote, "This tangy hue moves the wearer away from the citrus-like undertones of a standard orange, and instead brings out a shade that merges a hint of red into its fibers. In keeping with its strong appearance," end of quote. These dresses are from the designers Christian Wynants, Bottega Veneta, and Marni. Next is peach pink outfits by Erdem, Issey Miyake, and Rabin Solaner. La Moda channel commented, quote, "As an evolution of last year's popular coral rose Pantone shade, peach pink takes clothing in a more subtle direction, albeit still with a captivating coloring. Sported in everything from figure-hugging pieces to oversized shapes, this nurturing tone comes as a warmer alternative to a typical peach hue." End of quote. Empire Yellow, a luminescent hue re-electing joy, turns heads and grabs attention. Here are some examples by the designers Raf Simons, Erdem, and the Royal Danish Academy. La Moda channel said, among the slew of striking colors, blue perennial appeared to be one of the more calming tones, despite Pantone's description that it was a standout blue that strikes the palate. Its use often generated a whimsical element to even the most simplistic designs, such as Diesel's skin-tight mini dress that used the tone in an ombre effect. End of quote. Quite a romantic description. The color trend included classics as well. La Moda channel describes the color, saying, quote, "The classic green is a bold hue that contrasts strongly to its counterparts. Described as nourishing, Pantone said this tone is imbued with health-giving qualities. Crystal rose takes on a softer appearance, which the organization said attempts to convey modern romance. While the hue was popular among floaty, lightweight materials, it was also often used among more structural designs and tailored pieces, like Batman's three-piece outfit," says La Moda channel. On Pantone color, Lovebird La Moda channel said it cemented itself as the color for the period, taking up residency on many runways. The exotic green ties perfectly in with the summer season as a lively hue that could be seen in floor-sweeping looks by a variety of designers. End of quote. To La Moda channel and in its own words, Summer Song was centered around feelings of relaxation and tranquility. Many brands use the color for long-line coats, which took shape in a range of materials from distressed denim to sleek leather-looking fabrics. As for the core classic color palette, La Moda channel started with Pantone Skylight by saying, "The Skylight had a front-row seat for many evening wear lines, often utilized in flowing gowns, or heavily embellished dresses. This particularly reigned true for various pleated looks in Lanvin's collection, which focused on exaggerated silhouettes and bold structuring." Whereas La Moda channel sees in Pantone vanilla cream femininity, saying, "This creamy tone mostly had a hold on feminine-like designs as shown by Simone Roca's fluttery evening dresses, and Chanel's signature tweed styles, each of which held an essence of eras past." Meanwhile, the hue also appeared bolder in menswear, where it was worn for head-to-toe looks, like Craig Green's take on office wear. End of quote. However, we do not share La Moda channel's sentiment nor Pantone's prediction for Pantone Grey Lilac. La Moda channel take on this color is that, quote, "Prominent among brands that zhuzhed up office wear attire, Grey Lilac fits snugly into its name as a lilac-infused gray." In keeping with Pantone's description of a dreamy and ethereal color, the hue lightened up iterations of back-to-office looks often seen in loose-fit blazers and collared mini dresses. End of quote. In our opinion, which should be humble, but here it is not, grays have no place in a spring and summer collection. The colors must be lively like the season, primavera, colors like green, flower color palette, not dull gray. Gray is for sadness, loneliness, for gray overcast of fall and winter. Gray is the color of things nearing death. Gray has its place but not in the vivacious season of spring and summer. We do not see that any gray represents the season neither in the daytime nor nighttime, neither in the office nor in the restaurant nor anywhere except in sad situations and in loneliness. Who would think that sadness and loneliness are a natural part of the new growth of spring and the flowers of summer? Still, color is subjective. Now one may be a proponent of bright colors in fall and winter to brighten the mood to give hope. But one cannot hold that the contrary is true, i.e., use gray to dim the brightness, the happiness and liveliness of spring and summer. Our same opinion holds to a great degree for the next color Pantone, Leek green, unless the designer is able to in some way switch its dullness, melancholy feeling to brightness and more interesting emotions fit for spring and summer, the happy seasons. But why bother? We cannot imagine that the dullness of gray and leek green can become as vivacious as, say, tangelo or peach pink. Seriousness aside, can any shade of gray or leek green make you smile at the thought as well as Pink Panther pink? Here's a color name probably not even Pantone could come up with. Ha ha ha. La Moda Channel said, quote, as an alternative to khaki green, leek green consists of a gray undertone that is reminiscent of more vegetal-based colorings. It was mainly used among the slew of utilitarian-like designs that made it down the runway, including that of Miu Miu's selection of military-inspired workwear. End of quote. But to us, and most likely to the novice fashionista as well, Pantone Leek Green is more of an earth color rather than reminiscent of more vegetal-based colorings. Leek green to us is more of a color of an unhealthy condition of soil, not even a color of a healthy fertile soil. In our opinion, if leek green is reminiscent of any vegetation color, it is a vegetable color past wilting. We beg your pardon, and we mean no offense, but honestly, that is what this leek green stirs in our imagination. In contrast to gray lilac and leek green, Pantone Macchiato is a color that brings a smile that is if the color really represents macchiato. The mere thought of macchiato, the espresso topped with a thin layer of foamed milk, would bring a smile to most coffee lovers. Do you think that the color name by itself helps set the mood? Or the actual color itself and alone is responsible for triggering feelings and setting the mood? On Macchiato, La Moda Channel says, quote, macchiato differs from the typically dark undertones of the usual coffee-inspired hues. Instead, it is described by Pantone as a delectable brown, with a light layer of foam. On runways, the color was most often used for outerwear layers like Hermès deconstructed cape, or for leather-like materials and pieces with dynamic silhouettes. End of quote. Color of the Year, Vivamagenta, Pantone Color 18-1750. Vogue in its article introduced Pantone's Color of the Year under the title, quote, introducing Pantone's 2023 Color of the Year, welcome to the Magentaverse. End of quote. But what is meant by Magentaverse? We do not know. It does not seem to be a dictionary term. We looked. It would be interesting if you, the audience of this video, would find out who coined this seemingly new term. And if it is in fact a new term not in the English dictionary, then you will shed some light on this specific type of magenta. However, it seems that it is a confluence of two terms. Magenta, a color, and metaverse, a virtual world where our computer-coded avatars can live. Both magenta and metaverse are full-fledged dictionary words though, each on its own. But to what Magentaverse refers to? Is it a wide spectrum of possible magenta color variation in virtual reality? Or it is a range of hues and shades of magenta in real reality? Or something else? We welcome your comments on these questions or what meanings Magentaverse stirs in your mind. Metamagenta may be a better name, but it cannot. This term is already taken and used for a wide range of things. We looked it up. It is virtually everywhere online. Still, metamagenta does not seem to be an English dictionary word as well. Back to the article. Vogue introduced the color of the year saying, quote, "Bigger. Progression. Strength. Nature. Renewal." These were just a few of the words that recurred when Vogue checked in with the leading lights at Pantone, the globally recognized sorter and systemizer of color, to discover which amongst its 1,000-strong spectrum has been identified as its color of the year for 2023. End of quote. One may ask himself to what extent the terms vigor, progression, strength, nature, renewal are relevant to Vivamagenta, or to any magenta, or to any color as a matter of fact. We need to look into the context in which these terms are used to describe, introduce, or market this grade of color. But it is outside of our scope and possibly our ability, since we are starting as a fresh novice in this business and industry. However, it would be a great help to us if you, our audience, would share with us in the comments what you think. Anyway, this kind and other types of literature in the fashion industry seem to be functional and indispensable to make color trends matter to all stakeholders, though in different ways. Please note carefully. By no means we are belittling these things: the color, the literature, the narrative, the cuts, the designs. On the contrary, fashion with all its stakeholders, heritage, is a social institution which demands its respect, irrespective of positive or negative critique. In fact, this institution thrives on critique, because it wants to constantly readjust and align with the audience some of the time, while pushing the limits and affecting change in its audience and stakeholders alike in other times, a dialectic relationship, if you will. A yin and yang type of perpetual conflict resulting in existence in continuous change. Why color matters? Why color trends and fashion matter? Much may be said in answer to these questions. However, in our not-so-humble opinion, fashion, which includes color trends and all the other attributes, have a higher meaning and value. Fashion has a noble role to play in the existence of modern human life, if not across history. You may wonder what is particularly noble in this matter? Here it is. Fashion is one of the very few arenas open to democracy. It is where a minority is not silenced or censored. Fashion is appreciated more particularly in these times where dogma dictatorships rule probably most arenas, science included. Can you imagine the extent democracy and the truth are being eroded in other arenas? In contrast, in fashion, the speech and action of the minority, such as fashion designers, has a significant weight. It is not marginalized. Fashion designers are the few, the minority. The designers create, the masses react, the designers listen and adjust. Neither the minority, the designers, nor the masses are oppressed. There is a feedback loop relationship based on freedom, a healthy relationship. One would wish for utopia. But of course, nothing is perfect. Corruption creeps into institutions and grows as much as the opportunity allow. Still, in our opinion, and relatively speaking, the institution of fashion is one of the very few arenas left for humankind, where there is more freedom to think, innovate, design, speak, have an opinion, present critique with much more tolerance, and all the rest of it. This higher ceiling allows free creativity. This type of freedom of expression is vital to us. We are not lifeless machines nor AI bots. Hence, fashion matters and color trends matter. Here are some quotes from celebrated fashion designers. Yves Saint Laurent: "No more rules, the freedom of dressing. The beauty of mixing vintage clothes with a pair of jeans that I love." Yves Saint Laurent champions the liberation of fashion from constraints, endorsing a delightful fusion of vintage charm and casual modernity. This quote celebrates the joy of breaking traditional style boundaries. Yves Saint Laurent perspective encourages fashion enthusiasts to embrace a boundary-breaking ethos, fostering a dynamic and inclusive sartorial landscape. This outlook champions individuality, fostering a vibrant fashion culture that amalgamates history and contemporary flair. Yves Saint Laurent: "Finding your own style is not easy, but once found, it brings complete happiness. It gives you self-confidence always." Yves Saint Laurent insight underscores the transformative power of personal style, fostering a sense of fulfillment and confidence. This philosophy encourages fashion enthusiasts to embark on a self-exploratory fashion journey, contributing to a more authentic and empowered sartorial community. Anna Dello Russo: "Fashion is a declaration of your own freedom." Anna Dello Russo views fashion as a powerful statement of personal liberation, allowing individuals to express their autonomy and embrace their unique identity. Anna Dello Russo, fashion is like music, and when you put music in a cage it doesn't work. Anna's simile is interesting. Music crosses the bars of the cage, likewise fashion, and Richard Lovelace, into Althea, from prison, stone walls do not a prison make, nor iron bars a cage. Carolina Herrera, fashion has always been a repetition of ideas, but what makes it new is the way you put it together. Herrera's insight highlights the artistry within fashion, encouraging designers and enthusiasts to reimagine and redefine established concepts. This approach fosters a constant evolution of style, contributing to a fashion landscape that thrives on inventive reinterpretation. Donatella Versace said, quote, "Fashion is about dreaming and making other people dream." Versace's perspective elevates fashion to a realm of imagination and inspiration. This ethos encourages designers to infuse their creations with a sense of wonder, transforming fashion into a vehicle for storytelling and collective enchantment. Tommy Hilfiger, American style is about confidence, independence, diversity, and free expression. Hilfiger encapsulates American fashion as a reflection of the country's values, confidence, autonomy, diversity, and freedom of expression. Hence, fashion matters, and color trends matter. If you think we are wrong, let us know in the comments. Back to Vogue's article. On Vivamagenta, Pantone Color Institute's executive director, Leetrus Eisman, is quoted saying, "It's brave, it's fearless, it's pulsating, and it promotes optimism and joy." Vogue added, quote, "The Vivamagenta shade was introduced to the Pantone color range in 2019. And its rapid rise to star status in part reflects events that have happened since then." As Laurie Pressman, vice president of the Pantone Color Institute, said, "This is an unconventional color for an unconventional time. And the biggest overriding factor in shaping the time has been our experience with COVID, in forcing us to make changes that willingly, or not, have transformed our lifestyles." End of quote. Vogue further quotes Pressman saying, "We are looking at a color that highlights our change of perspective, that spotlights our need to feel empowered, and that is infusing us with strength that we can, courageously and positively and fearlessly, embrace a new pathway with confidence." Vogue's article reacted saying, quote, "Take that as you will. My personal preference is with a pinch of salt, but there is no doubt that the 18-1750 Vivamagenta is comfy, sophisticated shade of red that delivers powerful value to the eye. It looks especially excellent, modeled by Jennifer Lopez, on Vogue's November cover." Vogue's article continues, quote, "Pantone is looking to parlay that value via a swathe of synergistic partnerships with companies, including Motorola, Lenovo, and more. The fruits of all of these will be part of an immersive exhibition, stewarded by Miami's intersectional technology art studio Artique House, opening this Sunday, that promises to envelop visitors in the Magentaverse." Pressman added, "We feel it's a color that reflects the global innovation and transformation that's taking place, as well as being a color that highlights the expansive possibilities that lay before us." Aha! Now we know what Magentaverse is. It looks like it is the confluence of color and metaverse. The merger of the natural and the virtual, if you will. Whether good, bad, or just ugly, we will wait and see. We borrowed this expression from the title of a classic movie of Clint Eastwood. Hoped Clint would not be angry. Ha ha ha. Now, why there is the color of the year, you may ask? Our color trends of the year are not enough? We do share your sentiment and these legitimate questions. Maybe there is a plethora of answers if you ask a number of people. Nonetheless, what comes to our mind first is the holiday. Holidays seem to be milestones in our life through time. They mark the start of a next stretch of time. All the civilizations we can recall had holidays. Holidays must be important then. They accentuate the start of an important period of time, hoping for the best to come. If this analogy holds, then the fashion year is accentuated following the seasons, but starts with the party of the new year, with the festivities of the color of the year. Maybe it is safe to conclude that the institution of fashion is alive, and it evolves by the season cycle, from one year to the next, with a more prominent accentuation, i.e., the color of the year. Not only the color trends of the season, but here too we find that the color of the year does matter as well. The big fuss and expense spent towards the color of the year festivity is far from trivial. On the contrary, this is perfectly aligned with our understanding of time and the cycle of the seasons. With this perspective, the seasonal trends in fashion are holidays in our lives, and the color of the year marks the new year, the capital holiday. Do you agree? To sum up on fashion trends, colors of the season and the color of the year, we can say this cycle is natural, and is in harmony with the yearly cycle of the seasons in our lives. They bring joy and hope. They break the killing monotony. They are the fuel which makes us move forward. And we should not forget the freedoms fashion provides for everyone, and the symbiotic interaction of ideas. Every individual is heard, none is censored. Hence, color matters. We hope that we will revisit this subject together in the years to come. We hope that this concept of fashion is true and continues to be true. We hope you and us will not be disappointed. The final part of this video covers the application of Pantone's color trends in the wardrobe of the celebrities in high-profile events. Here is a sample reported by Getty, WWD, PMC, Variety and AP. Here are the celebrities affirming their love of the Pantone color trends spring-summer 2023. There it is. A complete survey on the subject of the trending colors, answering the question to prove that color matters. If you enjoyed this video or it gave you some value, consider subscribing. It will also help this new channel to grow if you would click on like if you like. Ha ha ha, hit the notification bell if you'd like to know when our new video is available. Also, please forward this video to someone whom you think would be interested. You are also welcome to post constructive comments. See you in our next video.